iconic white cliffs of Dover, one of the most potent symbols of British pride. It's perhaps unsurprising then that 62% of people here voted to leave the European Union. But this busy port will be on the front line when Brexit happens. Getting the right deal is crucial. You can't get much closer to mainland Europe than Dover. We're only 26 miles away from France. If you really squint, you might just be able to see it. This is the point of arrival for millions of people and goods crossing from the continent, and that's why it might be one of the first places to really feel the consequences of leaving the EU. Every year, the Port of Dover deals with £119 billion worth of trade, 2.5 million freight vehicles and 13 million passengers. Even a small delay in processing this volume of traffic could have huge effects.
We probably, on a busy day, handle about 160 kilometres worth of traffic. That's enough traffic to go from Dover along the A20, up the M20, round the M25, over the Dartford crossing, as far as Stansted Airport. If you multiply that dramatically, that could mean gridlock across a number of lanes of a motorway. The UK will suffer if we don't get this right.
So it could mean prices rising on the supermarket shelves?
Prices of finished manufactures could rise, the UK could become less competitive, lots of production lines in the Midlands and North could close if we don't get it right.
If the border moves from France to the UK, as some have threatened, controlling illegal immigration could become very difficult. A Calais-style jungle camp wouldn't move to Dover. As soon as people managed to reach British shores, they'd try and disperse.
If we can't have any UK border force in France at all, so we have no way to check those lorries before they board, and that's not true just of Dover, that's going to be true across every ferry port everywhere, then won't matter how many staff we've got in the UK. Once those individuals have got in that container and the container's on board the ferry, they are to all intents and purposes here. And it risks making the UK even more of a magnet for asylum seekers and for irregular migration than it already is.
So you could be talking about thousands or even tens of thousands of people?
That's the doomsday scenario, yes.
Motis Freight Service Agency in Truck Park is at the sharp end of Brexit. Every day the company handles more than 500 vehicles and provides the vital customs link for lorries carrying non-EU goods.
I see Brexit more as an opportunity than a threat. I know there are concerns about how freight might transit through the port, but we've been there before. It was 25 years ago, there were only 1 million trucks a year then, and there are 4 million trucks a year now, but technology has come on leaps and bounds. And I think that technology can smooth the path. Now, if we're saying that post-Brexit, that everything requires customs clearance again, 98% of that will be processed concurrently in 5-minute chunks. So I don't see it as such a large issue.
After last year's initial certainty that leaving was the right thing to do, Dover now faces a less predictable future as the details of Brexit are negotiated. And with the sheer volume of freight that passes through the port, even the smallest mistake could result in this whole area ending up as one gigantic car park. Sophie Ridge, Sky News.